LJH crew, what's going on? Thank you once again for clicking on another edition of the Real LJH Productions. This is going to be a thought video, rant video, um, something a little different than what I usually do. I don't usually do a lot of wrestling and stuff on here, but I want to talk about the WWE Raw moving to Netflix. We've had two episodes so far, and I want to give my review on how I feel about it, and how weird it's been, and how I think it's going to be going forward. So the first Raw on Netflix was awesome. It felt like a PLE. It was very well played out, very thought, and it just was a lot of fun to watch. The second one, I got the same exact vibes. It was very well done, very played out. Um, got PLE vibes. We got the debut of Penta, which was awesome. That match was incredibly done. Um, my hat tips for Chad Gable and Penta. That match was incredible. Uh, the first Raw, of course, the main event with Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Holy shit, that match was great. It was very well done, very well played out. Definitely was a WrestleMania match on a Raw show. But the thing that bothers me so far about the Netflix and Raw collaboration is they don't seem to be consistent on the time. The first Raw ran 3 hours, where last week's Raw went like 2 hours and 31 minutes. So it's gonna bounce. And Triple H had said this in the past. He said, it's gonna go a common to how much time we need for the show. His main goal is 2.5 hours, but if it stretches to three during WrestleMania season, stuff like that, that's what he'll do. Because he also has to stay kind of true to the networks that are still airing Raw that are not involved in the U.S., which is understandable. There are still a few, and my main concern is right now they're in the impress Netflix mode. The WWE is in the impress Netflix mode, so they're gonna keep doing these like PLE special WWE Raws, but then what happens when we get Laxy Daisy? What happens when the ratings start to drop a little bit during football season, or when the ratings start to drop during even MLB season? Um, Netflix is a great place to be now, but Netflix is also very quick to say, "Hey, it's not working for us," and then like, bam, the show's canceled. I know they put a lot of money into this and a lot of thought. I believe it's over like I don't know, over like 9 million or $9 billion, something like that. That Netflix paid WWE to actually get Raw and stuff like that. So I don't think there would be like a cancellation for like Raw like that. But there's also plans in the future for once the Peacock license is up. From what I'm hearing, the Peacock license is going to be up soon, and it looks like Netflix is going to get all the PLEs and everything going forward, and all the content that's on Peacock will eventually move over to Netflix sometime in the near future. But it's weird. It's a very weird thing, and it's very hard to get used to. Because you used to just turn on USA and it would be you'd see the credits roll and the intro for WWE to go off. Now you turn it on like 3 minutes before and it's a countdown of like it gives off PLE vibes, like your live event is starting soon and it's Raw and it's just counting down, and then it'll say starting now and you get the Netflix logo and then the WWE logo. Like, it's a lot to process and a lot to get used to, but you know um I hope that Netflix realizes that, the ratings with WWE are going to fluctuate, especially during football season. It's going to go like this. It's not always going to be the ratings that they're getting now. And the other thing is, there's a lot of people that unfortunately that don't get to watch Raw anymore. A lot of the elderly people that have been wrestling fans their whole life don't even know what Netflix is or even how to stream. Um, they really lost that audience as far as Monday nights. And yes, they have SmackDown and they have NXT and stuff like that, but they lost a lot of their elderly crowd, I'm sure, to to Netflix. But granted, like I said, they do have SmackDown and they do have NXT, so airing on Channel 11 and USA, depending on what area you're in. I think I'm sure it's different in other places, but it's just, do I think it was a good move for WWE to move Raw to Netflix? Yes. I think Triple H is doing an incredible job with the WWE. And now he's running things and doing things and making things his own. Um, and I feel like TKO and Triple H are doing everything in their power to get away from the McMahon era as much as possible. And eventually, I think the McMahon era will be a thing of the past. Everything is still too fresh right now. The McMahon era with scandals and everything like that. So he's still very fresh in everybody's mind. But I think WWE and TKO are doing a very good job of distancing themselves from that particular situation. And I think that Raw is only the beginning. I think eventually we will see SmackDown go to Netflix. I think we'll eventually see NXT go to Netflix. And like I said, we already know that a lot of the PLEs are going to go to Netflix eventually after Peacock um, contract expires. And then all the WWE content from the WWE network that was uploaded to Peacock will end up on Netflix. And I think Netflix is a better streaming platform for it. I think Netflix will, for the most part, I think they're going to unedit a lot of that content. I think Netflix is going to say this it deserves to be aired in its entirety that it was, because Netflix is a little bit more of a raunchier platform where Peacock is kind of kid friendly. So the stuff that Raw did in the past with certain situations, Peacock was like, hey, we have to edit that. Where I think Netflix would be like, we can get away with it with the right warning and rating. So that's a thing. I do see great things for the WWE in the future. They just did a whole collaboration where they just signed a multi-year deal with TNA Wrestling, so you can see TNA wrestlers pop in and out of NXT, and NXT stars go to TNA, which is very very cool. Gives opportunities for a lot of things, coaching stuff like that, um, going forward, and opportunities to see where wrestlers want to be. I mean, there's a lot of talent in TNA that I would love to see pop up in NXT. I mean, we've already seen some. I mean, we've seen Jordan Grace. We've seen um, Joe Henry. We've seen a few others, and I would love to see Nick Nemeth appear on NXT. It'd be a little confusing for people because he used to be Dolph Ziggler, but how cool would it be to have Nick Nemeth appear in NXT as Nick Nemeth? It would be amazing. And I think this is going to be the new thing for the WWE. They're going to eventually be a completely all streaming. They're eventually going to be all streaming. It's eventually going to be SmackDown, NXT, all going to Netflix. Like I said before. Um, Now we'll get to the main thing here. How did the Netflix special, well, not Netflix special, How is Netflix running live Raw so far? I've got no complaints. Honestly, I thought we'd run into a big disaster where like the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight, that was a complete buffering disaster. But surprisingly, Raw went Raw's been going very, very well. Knock on wood. It's smooth. Like I said, it's got this WWE Raw now has different vibes. And it's in a good way. Like it's really, really done great. So I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 10 rating of how I feel like it is. Um, I'm giving it a solid 9. Now the reason why I'm not giving it a full 10 is because we're only 2 episodes in. I gotta see how they keep this momentum going. Are you gonna be able to do PLE themed Raws going forward, or are you gonna get laxy daisy and Netflix will just accept what you're doing in air? I do think we will get a lot of big Raws coming up between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, um, even WrestleMania Backlash, if that's what they're even calling it. And you'll get a lot of big Raws going up leading to the pay per views. But is every Raw going to feel like a PLE? So that is why I'm giving it a solid 9. Um, but guys, I do appreciate you guys listening to me rant on this video about how I feel about the Netflix going to Raw. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you stayed this long, I appreciate it. Give this video a massive thumbs up. Hit those notification bells so you always know when I post a video. Check out the TikTok at the Real LGS Productions as well. And I'll see you all real soon. Before I go, start comments down below. How do you feel about Raw being on Netflix? Um, does it feel different to you? Let me know. But with that being said, I am going to end another video. Remember, 500 subscribers. That copy of Spider-Man 2 is still here. I'm trying to give it away, guys. I can't wait to do it. But I will see you all real soon. And as they say in the movies, cue the lights.